This is a Commodore, what is it? Commodore GL976M, serial number 6334, which unfortunately at some point in the past someone has left batteries in it. I actually took them out. They were about 70 years old, from the 70s, and they've basically ruined it. There's corrosion everywhere. It's not too bad. I don't think much has been eaten away, but it's not in a very good state. So I've put some vinegar on it to neutralise the alkaline battery muck, but there's still quite a lot of it there. I might clean it up later because it's a case. Might be able to do something with it. But what I'm going to do is take the chip off. It's a Commodore GRBP67 and it's got a date code of 7536. So it's a 1975 calculator chip. Basic 4 function with a memory and percentage. I've not seen this operate. I think this is, to all intents and purposes, dead. So that's the inside. I'm going to use the hot air gun, pull the chip out, decap that, and we'll see what's in there. Let's get some tweezers, got the hot air gun. Let's move the temperature up to something fairly hot. I'm going to go for about 290. So I want to try and keep the display and the power supply and so on, because I might be able to reuse those components for something. Maybe. Let's just see if we can get that chip out. Yeah. Is that melting the solder? It's going to be pretty close. Ease it out. It's very, very close to the board there. I've not left a lot of gap from the chip to the PCB. Let's give it a bit more air, I think so. I had that on a low setting, so I was doing some surface mount soldering. These older chips, I don't think they're epoxy. This almost looks like a ceramic chip, so there's a good chance that I won't be able to decap it very successfully. I've had problems with them before. They're just a bit too tough. This isn't coming out very well at all. Come on. Taking one side out first, maybe. Is that coming out? Very difficult to tell. I don't think it is. It's been a tricky one, this. Oh yeah, we've got something, there's a bit of lift going on there, I think. Let's try just one side, then the other side. There we go, one side. And there's a chip. The aforementioned GRBP 67. Nothing on the back. That looks like... no, I think that might be epoxy. Right, we'll have a go at decapping that. And then I'll get some die shots. That's if it's successful. So this is the die from the Commodore calculator, and unfortunately it hasn't cleaned up very nicely. We've got quite a lot of detail in some places. We've got the GRBP 001A there. I'll run around the outside because there's usually interesting markings around the outside of these chips. There we have CBM. So this looks to be a Commodore chip, so I don't know if they made their own chips back then. Looks like it, or at least they made their own layout. And we've got the layer markings, 1D, 2E, 3B, 4B, 5A, which is quite interesting. 2 B's there. Oh well. Around the outside we've got the bond pads. Bit of damage there, unfortunately. These older chips, they tend to not clean up as well. I've had to reheat this several times, so I probably melted the top metal layer there. More pads for pins, and down the other side, that looks like that might be a test feature there maybe. There's a few pads that are smaller than the bond wire pads there. You can see a bit of dirt here, and some interesting colouring going on. What we got there, is that transistors or resistors? It's going to be difficult to tell with some of this what the circuitry is. And we continue down here, and look, we've got the Commodore symbol in the corner, so they've gone all out on the identification here. There's some clear details there. That looks like is that a resistor probably, and a few more there, so it's cleaned up in some places. It's a bit odd. If we go up here, it gets a bit dirtier. Doesn't look as good at all, but maybe we can get some detail out. I might be able to maybe lap some of the top surface off and get some more detail there. If we move over here, we've got something very interesting. That looks very much like some sort of ROM. So we do seem to have, especially there, we do seem to have what look like ones and zeros. They look just about retrievable. There's some covered up there. I might be able to just take a light lap off the top of this. I'll take a die shot of this first. You can see some cleaner areas there in the middle of the screen. If we could get the whole thing like that, that would be good. But yeah, I'll get a die shot of this, and then maybe have a go at cleaning it up. It's interesting it's got a ROM in there, because this is a basic 4-function calculator, so I don't know if they put a microcontroller on here or they've just got a sequencer, something simpler than a microcontroller. What we got there, that looks like another, there's another grid of data. Yeah, there does seem to be some data there. I've no idea what's inside this chip. I've no idea what the architecture is at all, but definitely a lot of purples and blues going on. Yeah, it'd be nice to be able to completely reverse engineer this automatically, but I think a dirty chip like this is going to be very difficult. I might have a look and see if someone else has actually managed to work out what's going on inside these chips. Maybe there's a better die shot somewhere. But yeah, definitely a lot of purples and blues going on. That's probably related to the feature size of the chip, because the colours are related to the thickness of layers. But yeah, unfortunately a bit dirty, but we might be able to extract some data from there, although that's looking a little bit less likely in that area. That looks good though. That really does look like we've got a ROM there of some kind, and it's quite large as well. So yeah, so I think a die shot of that next.